Working in customer support is never easy. Working in tech support? I can't even imagine. Welcome to this episode of Tales from Tech Support. Our first one is from AC Forever. Big Boss was chairperson of the university department I worked in. Personally, he was generally nice, could be very generous, but he had a cheap streak when it came to spending on supplies and infrastructure. So, one day I get a call from admin person. Big Boss is upset about how much money we're spending on printing, paper, and toner. He thinks there's a lot of waste and we need to cut back. Okay, I ask, how much are we spending? Admin doesn't know, but Big Boss came in early one day, found a stack of pages in the copier printer out tray, and blew a gasket. So, can I find out how much we are spending? Turns out it was pretty easy. We bought all of our paper from a single campus source, so it was easy to dig that up. We had a contract for our big copier and printer, so that was easy to find, and I did all the purchasing of toner for the desktop printers we had scattered around, so I had those records. In a couple of hours, I had a year's worth of data and gave it to admin and Big Boss. From this, he instituted a couple of changes. Everyone had to have a code for the copier so we could track individual usage. Great idea. Turned out we had some students who were sneaking in on weekends and copying entire textbooks when electronic copies weren't available. Big Boss also wanted me to set up print logging by user so we could figure out who the big printer hogs were. I hadn't done this before, but we used a Linux print server, so I found out what packages I needed and set it up. At the end of the month, I dumped the printing log and had it nicely outputted, ready to be stuck on a web page of shame if need be. And to no one's surprise, the project stopped there. Big Boss was far and away the greatest print user in the department. I mean, he printed twice as many pages as the next highest person on the list. As chairperson, some of this was surely proper, but I also knew he liked to print personal stuff. A lot. So we ended up not putting the info up on our website, at least until he rotated out of being chairperson. Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. Well, I'm sure at the end of the day he would have tried to justify it that he's the big boss, he's the chairperson, so if he wants to print, he can print whatever he wants. This next tale is by Lapland 6. We begun a project to roll out password management for certain key employees in my company. Of course, once word gets around that change is coming, no matter how small, people want to start bitching about it. I had only notified our pilot group and a few others when I got a call from the head of reception. I heard you're changing something with passwords, is that true? We only just started a pilot group, but yes, we're rolling out password management. Have you cleared it with upper management yet? Yes, I've cleared it with management and they think it's way overdue. Okay, well, it's going to be too much trouble for reception employees to learn this, especially me. I've got way too much stuff going on to learn some new password system. Besides, I don't have many passwords to manage anyway. That's okay, you weren't slated for rollout anyway. Everyone isn't getting it. It's really only for certain key individuals. Oh, well, okay then. Thank you. Not 45 minutes later, I got a call from my supervisor. The head of reception called him and demanded that she be put on the list for password management. She told him she's got way too many passwords to manage and needs to be in the rollout group. The sooner the better. I know we've all dealt with people like this, the people in the companies or anywhere that just feel like if any kind of change comes, if it's not affecting them, they need to be affected by it, otherwise they don't feel special anymore. A lot like this head of reception. Our next tale is from Oafchunk. Hello fellow IT slaves, I have a nice little story of karmic justice to help brighten an otherwise miserable Monday. I'm on mobile but have no real excuse for anything, so feel free to eviscerate me for any spelling or grammar mistakes to your heart's content. On to the story. We have a new end user that was hired on about 6 weeks ago, and it immediately became clear she was one of those users. I know you have one too. You're probably thinking about them right now. Every day is a new issue, refuses to actually troubleshoot anything, berates and belittles whenever available, and so on. A general pain in the ass, and the call none of us on the help desk want to be stuck with. Well, today was my lucky day. Huzzah! Her computers are completely dead and won't work at all. Yes, computers, as in more than one. Because she has a laptop and 2 desktops. Right. As usual, getting any real information other than not working is worse than pulling teeth. However, after about 20 minutes, I'm able to piece enough together that it seems like her charger died, which means her laptop's battery drained after being used all morning, as one would expect. Okay, that's an actual issue for a change. Since I'm just a lowly help desk grunt, I can't actually do anything, so that means a ticket needs to go to the T2 team that can issue a new or replacement equipment. That went over about as well as a tank over a rope bridge. Not at all.
Well, how long is that going to take?
Considering that 75% of us work remote, and we happen to both be on the opposite side of the US as the main office, not to mention that I just work the help desk and don't get told shit about equipment inventory, I don't really know.
But that's just my laptop. Why don't my desktops work?
Because those are just monitors, ma'am. They just display whatever the laptop tells them to.
This is ridiculous. I'm not getting off the phone until you get me someone that will actually help me.
Sure thing. Let me transfer you over to my manager. Manager talks to her for 20 more minutes, agrees that she is just knucking futs, and kindly reaches out to the T2 team for someone to help this poor woman as soon as possible, as well as this poor woman's manager. Well, she got her help all right. A couple hours later, as my day is drawing to a close, an interesting termination ticket catches my eye. It's for our dear pain in the ass, effective immediately. Not even at the end of the business day. Remove all access right the hell now, which I gladly did. The wheel of karma turned in favor of the help desk for once, and I'll raise a glass to that. Edit, apparently my Ninja edit didn't save, but I missed my favorite part. On the original ticket that I had escalated, the user's manager left us a nice little note, and the inspiration for the title of this post. Please close this ticket as this person is no longer with the company. Thank you for all your help. I can't help but wonder if this was just the final straw that broke the camel's back in this person getting fired. Like there were many other things that led up to this, and just the fact that they were so inconsiderate and so demanding was the last straw. This next tale is from Spetty23. This happened to a colleague of mine, hence why it's written partially from a third-person perspective. I used to work for a hospital with an emergency department. The IT department ran 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, but had someone on call 24/7. On call was only there for urgent issues, such as all IT systems being down. In all 24-hour areas, especially the emergency department, there was always more computers and printers than needed. The idea is if a device broke, there would always be another device that could be used until we resumed normal business hours to fix. Hence, a single PC or printer being broken was never considered urgent. My colleague got a call from an angry doctor at 2 a.m.
The color printer at emergency department flight deck is not printing.
After some follow-up questions, it was established that it was only the single printer not working. All other printers were working, including other color printer about 10 meters away from where the doctor was. He lets the doctor know about the policy of single device issues where there is another available are not considered urgent, to log a ticket and it will be looked at during regular business hours. The doctor doesn't accept this.
Nope, we are very busy. This absolutely must be fixed now. We cannot afford to waste time walking 10 meters to collect our print jobs. This will affect patient safety if this is not resolved now.
Usually, we are pretty big on not fixing not-urgent issues after hours, as we don't want to set the, well, you did it last time, precedence. Because this doctor dropped the patient safety phrase, my colleague took a look at it. The issue ended up being a stuck document in the print queue, so he cleared it out. He let the doctor know the issue was fixed. As he still had the print queue up, he could see what was being printed out that was so critical it would affect patient safety if not fixed now. Recipes, as in cooking recipes. Who knew that this doctor also moonlighted as an emergency department chef? Who knew that he needed those recipes to make sure that the patients were safely eating and eating good, healthy food? And our final tale is from This Green Horror. I worked for a company that was going through a period of growth. We asked to be brought into the conversation early so that we could determine if there was high-speed internet in each new location. The CEO applauded the CFO about finding a cheap place to establish a remote office. The guy even got a bonus. Every single time, the best we could get was 1.5 megabytes down and up, and everyone had issues with these locations working nights and on weekends because it was scary as fuck. I had someone from a different part of the business complex scare off someone who was trying to break into my car. I had enough. I sent an email to the CEO stating that every single location was presenting an unsafe place to be at night when many people were returning company vehicles or equipment. I included the statement from the guy that caught someone breaking into my car. Also, I included the fact that IT was never included in the search for new offices and the only option was slow connections. Yeah, everyone was afraid of the CFO because he fucked with their budgets if they pissed him off. The CEO came down on the CFO and asked for clarification. CFO admitted he didn't think IT needed to be involved in site selection, but he saved the company a lot of money on rent. At the end of the day, we were stuck in office leases, but from that point forward, we were involved in the selection of new offices. From then on, I knew the CFO was gunning for me, but he couldn't do anything overtly. I left about a year after that. Not that I was worried about getting fired, I was thinking of going into management, which I did. The CFO was my boss. Well, this company's really winning with that CFO. Who knew the CFO could masquerade around, act as if they know as much as the CEO, act like they're also IT support, and then holds grudges when they're told exactly how it is. They're really in the wrong line of work. Alright, that's enough tales for the day. Well, that wraps up this episode of Tales from Tech Support. If you liked the video, please drop a like, share my content on all of your social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit that bell so you're notified every time I upload, and drop a comment down below. It really helps with the algorithm and helps new people find my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks to my patrons, have a great day and stay safe out there.